Later on, we're going to Giuseppe's Pizza to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Port Orange Boxing.
Oh, man.
And the gentleman who, by the way, I'm Russ Rollins, along with Ryan and Angel, Angelique, and Carlos, all here today. If you want to come out and say hi, we'd love to see you. We do have, if you want to get a healthy breakfast, Gotham City Nutrition has great stuff there. And then you can get yourself a Monster T-shirt if you want to. They're up at the front. But with us right now, we have Trevor is with us, who's the owner of Port Orange and deland Boxing. Trevor, nice to see you, man. Thanks for having us out.
Good morning, guys. It's awesome having you out here. This is fantastic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, couldn't have looked or sounded better. We got some people here already trying to boxing workouts for the first time, which is what we want to do, get people in shape. So thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, if you come out today, they're like you can see behind us, they're doing free boxing classes for Monster fans who have never done it before. Do you find, Trevor, I want to get back, I want to get to how you started this, but just quickly, do you find that people get intimidated by just the word boxing, like, oh my God, because we talked about this a little bit.
Sure.
Some people, they get freaked out thinking, oh, someone's going to challenge me to a fight if I go in there. And that's not the case, right?
Yeah, so boxing gyms by nature are scary, intimidating places that people are scared to go into. But what I've decided to do is to try and give boxing to everybody. So my slogan is, you don't have to be a boxer to train like one.
Right.
Because it is the best workout. It's very easy to learn. It's 6 basic punches and a bit of footwork, so anyone can do it. And so what I'm trying to do is bring boxing fitness, but real boxing, to the masses. It is a double-edged sword, because you're saying, hey, I'm a boxing gym, and people are like, whoa, boxing gym, I'm going to get
scary,
hit.
yeah.
So even though we do have a small amount of young kids that train to compete, it's a very small amount of our membership. But most people come here to get in shape and do something different,
Because just lifting weights and getting on a treadmill is boring.
Boring.
It is as boring as it can be. I hate it. And matter of fact, I couldn't find it. I'm not close enough to come to your gym. So my trainer, I'm having him do boxing with me, because at least it keeps me interested. And you can come to a gym like this. Just when you walk in with all the bags and stuff, you just kind of feel like punching stuff.
Yeah, the energy, the music, right? Yeah, and the big thing is as well is that boxing is so easy. That's what people don't understand. I mean, we want them to do it properly, but it's 6 punches.
Not that easy.
Trevor lives and dies by that, because
to do it right. I mean, and we're gonna venture into that a little bit. I want to have you show Ryan and Angelique how you punch the bag, and see if we can get them to punch the bag the way you do it. It's a totally different thing. But tell me how you got started in boxing when you were a younger man. Did you grow up here in the States?
No, I'm from England.
No way.
I knew it.
Actually, to that point, have you ever been in one of Guy Ritchie's movies? Because I swear you look like one of the heavies in one of the Guy Ritchie movies.
You so could be like one of the badass gangsters. Dude, I can get you some gigs.
But so I was in England, and if you've ever been to England, it's cold, dark, and miserable every day of your life. You get up, it's raining, it's cold, it's cloudy. You get home from work, it's cold, it's dark, it's cloudy.
Right.
And basically, you go down the pub. That's it. So I went to South Beach, Miami Beach, on a 2-week Christmas vacation in 1991, and I never went home.
Oh!
I was like,
South Beach wins.
Hang on, I get to wear shorts and flip flops and go to the beach, and there's beautiful women, and I'm like, okay,
why go back, right?
Yeah.
So when you went south, did you start boxing? Did you start boxing in England, or did you?
I boxed a little bit when I was a kid, in my teens. I wasn't very good, so I loved the workout, but I knew I wasn't going to be a professional boxer. But I loved the workout, and I loved the idea of the self-defense. One of my best friends, Billy Schwer, that I grew up with, he ended up being British, Commonwealth, European, and world champion. Oh, wow. So he was like the man in town. Yeah. And we all wanted to be like, boxers like Billy, but I knew I didn't have it. You know.
So you moved to Miami, and then how do you get it? Because I know you end up becoming a professional boxer, right?
So what happened was I was working as a nightclub doorman, doing the whole Miami Beach thing, having a blast.
Wow.
So does that mean bouncer?
Yeah. The guy at the door that says you can come in, but you can't.
And you have it the whole life. Like you were like the full Miami. Like Trevor and I have talked about, like if I was back then, we would have we would have had some good times.
Yeah, my boss hired me because he said that he liked having an English butler at the door. I could tell someone to go away in no uncertain terms. It sounded great. That's my English accent.
Isn't it so funny? Americans are like that. As soon as you speak and you've got an English accent, I think you're like probably 50% smarter than they usually are. Maybe. We always think that, very, very nice, very cordial, and very smart because of the English accent.
And the girls.
I
love your accent.
Yeah, the girls love that.
Yeah.
So, okay,
is it reverse in
accents
England?
are
Do they
nice.
love the American accent? Do they? I don't think it's the same.
No.
Yeah, that's not sexy.
But
Hey,
anyway,
what's
to answer your question, I was working nightclub doorman, did it for about 10 years, and there was a very famous boxing gym on Miami Beach called the Fifth Street Gym. It was Muhammad Ali's gym throughout his whole career.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So in 1996, they demolished it. The real estate was worth more than the gym, which is a crime. It should have been made into a museum. And so I'm sitting there thinking, man, I can't keep working as a nightclub doorman. And it just came to me, I should open a boxing gym because the Fifth Street Gym closed. So in 98, I opened my first gym. And again, I had this idea of boxing for everybody. I met Angelo Dundee, Muhammad Ali's trainer, at a boxing show. And I went up to him and I said, hey, Mr. Dundee, you don't know me, but your gym, the Fifth Street Gym, got demolished. And I opened down the street about 2 blocks down the street. I'd love you to come. Never thinking he would come. He shows up.
Angelo Dundee. Wow.
Yeah, and then he started bringing fighters to my gym, like Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones. Legends. So now I had the boxing fitness, but I had the famous fighters too. And because it was South Beach, we had Will Smith training there, Matt Damon. So it was a really cool time.
How long?
What year?
How long did Will Smith train with you? And what year was that?
Will Smith trained for the Ali movie. Remember he played Ali?
Yeah.
You know that little movie where he played The Greatest Ever?
So who trained Will Smith to play Ali? Angelo Dundee did.
Yeah, that's right. His real trainer.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we had members coming in like you see today, and Will Smith's hitting the speed bag, and they're like, isn't that Will Smith?
I mean, he's had a lot of different people come in. Matt Damon. Tell me about the Matt Damon story.
The Matt Damon
Listen
story
to
was
this.
hilarious. So I was working the front counter. It was 2:00 in the afternoon. It was boiling hot. Nobody's in the gym. And this dude walks up with a Boston's Red Sox baseball cap on.
Right.
And he looks around and says, so how much is it to train? And I'm like, you're Matt Damon. And he goes, yeah, how much is it to train? I'm like, no, but you're Matt Damon. And I don't really remember the movie because actors have to get in shape. So he had played that Fat Businessman movie.
Yeah.
And he was playing Invictus, the rugby player.
Right.
So he had to get in shape from Fat Businessman body to rugby player body.
I've done it before, yeah.
Russ lives the life of Matt Damon.
And so he trained at my gym to get in shape for that movie.
How long did it take him to get in shape for that movie?
Probably about 3 months.
3 months, that's it.
Yeah.
But
he had a personal trainer, one of my trainers, Matt Bayamonte, who went on to be his personal trainer.
Wow.
But the 3 months that a movie star takes to get ready is a very different 3 months than the everyday
he's not doing
life.
anything else.
Exactly.
I mean, he could be doing a little, but your main goal, you're getting paid $7 million to be in a film, to play a rugby coach or a player. You're going to take your time, and so that's why he had to go to the best.
So Trevor, you own the gym. But when did you actually start saying, I think I can get in the ring and box?
So I like I said, I boxed as a kid. I had some amateur fights, but because I knew that I wasn't at the level to be a professional boxer, how could I stay in boxing, still enjoy it, still be part of it, but not get punched in the face? I opened boxing gyms.
Yeah.
So, that was my way. And then the biggest thing is I truly, truly know and believe that if you come to my gym, you're going to get in shape.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I mean, what is there before a boxing fight? There's a weigh-in.
Yep.
People have to make weight.
Right. Yeah.
So my passion, I have several passions, but my passion is seeing someone come in. There was a lady this morning I haven't seen in about a month, and she's like literally lost 50 pounds.
Right.
Nice.
And I love it. I love, guys come in and I'm 55. I'm in the best shape of my life. And they're like, oh yeah, but I'm 50. And I'm like, dude, I'm 55. Let's not go there.
Exactly.
Get in here. Give me 3 days a week. I'll give you some advice on nutrition. We'll get you in shape. And that's what I love.
And coming from you, because obviously you're 55, you look like $1 million. Because I love it, because that'll happen. People go, hey man, I'm 50, and once I hit 50, my limiting belief is that I'm supposed to go downhill.
Yeah.
And then you go, no, you don't. And Russ is a testament
Look
to
at
that too.
Russ. Yeah.
He takes care of himself. He's battling stuff always with, he loves his food like anybody else, but this guy has constantly tried to stay in shape way more than most people absolutely in their 50s.
And it's a battle for some people, and some people it seems to come natural, to be in great shape. How often do you actually train, Trevor?
So, I mean, I'm doing something interesting right now. I just became a granddad. So
congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm going to Australia to visit my grandson in 4 weeks.
Oh my
little Jack.
gosh, nice.
But I don't know about you guys, but I used to be, when I took my daughter to events and we stayed in a hotel, I always had this thing like I want to have the best dad bod, right?
Yeah.
There's
I'm
always
having
some
that right
dude
now.
with a better dad bod than you
I'm
at the
working
pool.
at
And you're
it.
like, damn it,
Oh my God.
So I'm right now on my team. I think I'm the best.
Yeah. So now
Shout out to
I got to have the
coaches.
best granddad bod, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I'm literally training 6 days a week right now because I'm going to Australia in 4 weeks. I will walk down the beach with best
So
granddad
do you
bod.
Well, if you're going to Australia, we know that those people are just ripped for no reason.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you actually train with the guys as they're
Yep.
boxing and stuff, or
Yeah,
in the classes?
I'll do the lunchbox class over in deland. I will still do my own thing, but I love to do the classes just because of the energy and keeping up with my boxing skills.
Well, by the way, they're doing free classes today. If you're a Monster fan, you want to come by and you want to just learn how to just kind of do it. And they just did a class with a bunch of guys. They had a great time. You can do it all day today. At 9 o'clock, there's another class that starts, right?
So, yeah,
for everybody.
members. Yep.
I want you to stick around because I know we have a thing we're going to do, and then also I want to have you show Ryan and Angelique how to properly punch that bag over there. Can we do that?
Love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then we'll do that other thing we talked about. And hey, listen, we're having a great time here. It's Port Orange Boxing. It's a 378 South Nova Road. If you want to find out where we are, and then after this, we're going to go down to Giuseppe's Pizza. And are you jogging down there? Are you running down there?
So my job is to help Carlos get 12 people. He's my boy. So,
That's my
gotta do one.
All right, well, we'll do that also.
Man.
Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Monsters of the Morning. Side now. Back to Port Orange Boxing, where we are live from Port Orange. There's been a boxing class started at 6 o'clock. It's already over with. But if you show up, they have trainers that will give you free boxing classes today. A bunch of Monster fans already did it. If you want to come out and do it, you can. Live at Port Orange Boxing. After this, we're going to Giuseppe's Pizza.
Yeah.
And it's a big celebration because Port Orange Boxing and Trevor's Place has been here for about a year. It's been 1 year anniversary. So welcome back. I'm Russ Rollins, along with Angel and Angelique and Carlos and Ryan
so
Holmes.
funny.
You missed this.
Oh my gosh, what did I miss?
So
I'll get him a mic because he has to. Yeah, Angel, it's coming.
Trevor and Carlos were talking, and then I think your business partner was here talking with him
What's
as well.
his name again?
Vic.
Vic.
Yeah.
Badass looking dude. I mean, he looks like he'd kill you in a second.
And so,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here writing notes, thinking about what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. Angelique went off to go do something. Angel's doing angel business,
I did not go get more food,
And
but I
so-
thought about it.
And so Ryan, while we're all busy, kind of slowly goes over behind us, and he gets up and he stands up on this little platform to see if he can do a pull up.
Oh, I haven't done one of those in forever.
And listen, as I'm making fun of you, I don't think I can do a pull up, just so you know. But it was funny to watch you. It was funny to watch you try and then fall down immediately.
Wait, how far did he get?
I didn't see it. I just saw the reaction of the faces.
Just standing on it.
I heard his shoulder go quick.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
how far did he
No,
get?
You said
Again,
you were,
I have a shoulder injury. I was just checking to see if I could do a pull-up because I haven't tried one in over a year.
how did it feel?
Horrible.
It's still messed up.
Yeah, I
It
could
was just-
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of physical therapy, but none of them involve actual pull-ups.
But
so.
as I'm making fun of you, even all the weight I've lost, I don't know that I can do a pull up. So I'll give you that. But
Well, I'll tell you a fun fact about me today before we get to Trevor. I'm full girdle today, and I got
you got the girdle on.
Oh my gosh, you really are.
yeah. Hell yeah! I live that girdle life full time now.
That girdle. That's the girdle I gave him, Angelique. I used to wear that girdle when I was like 295, just so I would look like I was 290.
Thank you for not telling me that. Oh yeah, I was waiting till on air. I figured it'd be a fun on air thing. But I knew my shoulder was. We got to play our Girdle Power song, Angel. I know my shoulder was bad. It hadn't really bothered me in a while. And the other day when I went to take the girdle off, it's like tough to get off, and I blew it out one more time.
So you got hurt taking your girdle off.
Yep.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's the saddest way to so you go to the surgeon and he's like, so how did you injure? Are you pitching, maybe a softball league, punching? Actually, it was one of those very common girdle injuries.
You got a girdle injury. Yeah.
2 or 3 a week we're getting.
So anyway, Trevor,
Oh my God.
thank you for having us out here today. We're obviously having a good time. It's fun watching everybody train and everything. We were talking a little bit during the break, and Carlos kind of alluded to it. And I didn't want to ask a bunch of questions because I didn't know if you'd feel comfortable talking about it. But he talked about when you were in Miami, you were a doorman, and he mentioned, well, you used to party a little bit. Party a little bit means what?
Well, I mean, as an Englishman, there's nothing to do but go down the pub, right? So from 16, you're going down the pub. By 18, you're a seasoned drinker.
Yeah.
Drinking pints of lager and watching football games. And so when I went to Miami Beach, I was already a seasoned drinker, and then I discovered cocaine. I could drink more.
Right, yeah. And I imagine if you're the doorman and people are trying to get into the club, whatever.
It's free.
So they just kind of
the cocaine. I mean,
they shake your hand and they give you the cocaine. And
they would cocaine me.
Yeah.
That was a verb.
Did you ever feel like, man, I've gotten too much cocaine tonight? Did that ever happen?
That's when I decided to quit. Yeah, I mean, it got to the stage where it was fun, and for 5 years I was partying, but then it became this, one of these things like all addictions where I had to do it in order to stay on top of myself and be up and, be at the door with 500 people trying to get in the club, and I'd have to do a couple of shots and a couple of lines of coke every night, and then it just spiraled out of control. But it was free, like I said. People would shake my hand. That was the tip.
Yeah,
So that was 90s in Miami.
So what was the final straw where like, okay, I got to get clean? What was the rock bottom for Trevor?
So I opened my gym because I decided I had to get out of the nightclub industry because this is part of what, and I was still in denial. I still didn't think I was an addict. I was like, I got this under control. So I opened my gym, and I was like kind of, all right, well, look, I can still go party at weekends. I'm a successful businessman. I got a gym.
Just the weekends.
Yeah. So, Friday night would go into Saturday morning, would go into Saturday night, would go into Sunday morning. But I'd always tell myself, I'm going to stop on Sunday because I got to open the gym on Monday.
Yeah, just a 2-day bender. That's perfectly understandable.
Perfect, and that's the thing, us addicts, the things we tell ourselves is okay,
Yeah.
But then guess what? It would be Sunday morning at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I'd still be going, and I'd have to call someone. Hey, can you open the gym this morning? I'm not feeling too well. My tummy hurts.
Little tiny things start fraying the fabric that you've sewed of rationalization.
Yeah, and then you realize that you don't have control of these substances; they have control of you.
Yeah,
and that's when people have different lows, lowest lows. Some people jail, some people death. I was lucky enough to click in my head at that stage, like, hey, this isn't working for you.
Oh, you're lucky. That's a very small percentage of people that figure that out. And they usually figure it out back against the wall. I got to do something. And the ones that like you, they can figure it out right before it gets the worst.
Right.
So I have seen in my life, it seems like certain addicts have a certain kind of personality. And that is, you can take that addiction personality and turn it into a positive.
Absolutely.
And become addicted to whatever positive thing there is. Do you find that boxing is one of those things that if you have an addictive personality, you can transfer that and do a positive?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was always one of these people that everything I did to the best of my ability. I was the best doorman. I was the best boxing gym owner. I was the best addict. I was really good at it.
Right.
So
want to bet?
Yeah.
So when I decided to get clean, what I decided, and this is my passion, and I'm saying this because to anybody out there that's having trouble, struggling with addiction, shoot me a message, man. Shoot me a message on Facebook. Maybe I can help you, right? I have helped people, and I want to help people, and I just shoot me a message, say, hey, I heard you on the radio, I'm struggling, can we chat? We'll go for a coffee and we'll chat, and maybe I can help you. Because what I did was Friday night when I would call my coke dealer and call the boys, I'd go to the gym.
Right.
And I'd kill myself boxing, right? And I'd be exhausted. I'd go home, and then Saturday night, I would call my dealer and call the boys. I'd go to the gym. And Sunday, so what I did was I now obviously there's a lot more to it. I couldn't go to a bar or a restaurant or a nightclub or anywhere where alcohol was for the first 6 months. I couldn't hang out with them, my friends.
Right.
You can't. You just can't. If you're serious about it, like especially with alcohol and drugs, if you think you're just going to throw yourself back in a situation that you were literally doing, you're going to fail. Yeah. And removing yourself from the environment is the first thing you got to do in the best way possible.
But fitness is a good way of because as you train and you feel better about yourself, then you don't want to put poisons in your body.
Right. Yeah.
I tattooed on my arm the last time I was doing a line and drinking 8/22/10, which actually in 4 days will be 13 years.
Wow.
So it's been 13 years.
13 years in 4 days. Yeah.
Since you
That
did
is
a line of
awesome.
cocaine and a shot.
Yeah.
That is so dope, dude.
And
I'd never read that on your arm.
I was reading a book called Excuses Be Gone by Dr. Wayne Dyer. It's a book about excuses for why we do things that we shouldn't and why we don't do things that we should do.
Yeah.
And I wrote an expert. I put enough. I've had enough. No more excuses. I'm sick of making excuses. No more complaining. Oh, I feel like crap today. No more explaining. Hey, I'm sorry I punched you in the face, but I was drunk. And then what I believe is what I am without alcohol, which is genius.
Right.
And
That's
I put this
awesome.
on my arm, and I realized I got to pick up a beer. I got to keep changing that date. And that would look weird, right? Cross it.
Right.
So that was another thing I did.
As you're trying to help and talk to addicts, how many? Because I'm just thinking about people I've come across. How many people do you come across that like say it mentally? They say it verbally, but you can just tell their heart really is in straight. And they haven't. You always hear they haven't hit the rock bottom yet, but they're telling you I want to quit. But then next thing you know, they're doing a line of coke in the bathroom.
That's
But like how do you help someone like that who hasn't really made that decision?
So in the beginning, when I was helping people, I was just putting messages on Facebook saying, hey, if you're struggling with addiction, give me a shout. And I would meet them for coffee. And I would get so frustrated because people wouldn't do it. And I'm like, man, why can't they do it? I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, I've got to relish the few people that have kicked addiction through my help. And the people that aren't ready, they're not ready.
They're not ready.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready, you're not ready. And I've had people tell me, yeah, but then I'm like, you're not ready.
It's one thing, obviously dealing with it myself and helping people through it. What I always say is like in life, and you've done this a million times, you'll make a choice. You go, I'm choosing not to drink. That's very different than going, I've made a decision to quit drinking. And men make decisions, boys make choices. And when you wrote that on your arm, you made a decision that day.
Yeah.
And in life, you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
There's no other choice, really.
Do you see a correlation with, because you also help people who want to lose weight, with when you're talking about addiction, there are people that have addictions when it comes to eating, and they come in here and like, help me lose weight, and that's sometimes the same thing. They say they want to lose weight, but they're not really willing to work real hard in the gym, or they're not really have you run into that?
Yeah. I mean, I when I tell people, I'm like, okay, and I hate doing this because I'm trying to sell gym memberships at the end of the day, but I do tell people it's only 40% working out. It's 60% nutrition. You can work out all you want and buy the membership, but if you're not.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. And I tell people, I'm like, look, forget the word diet. A diet's something you can start and you can stop.
Yeah.
Lifestyle change.
Yeah.
4 simple things. First, today you start the gym, cut out your junk. You know what it is. Your sodas, your candy bar that you have at the end of the day, your cheesecake. Try that.
Yeah.
Drink lots of water.
Okay, got that.
He's got to drink lots of water. He didn't say anything for the first one.
I noticed you didn't say anything about the cheesecake.
Nothing.
I'm just saying.
You glossed over the cheesecake comment.
Is it like the Bible where we pick and choose what we like?
Oh my
I
God.
love cheesecake.
Why are we back to the Bible?
But the addicts and the overweight people are kind of the same people, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And so it takes that. And some people aren't ready,
Right.
and some people are. And again, what I've found in myself is that I have to relish the people that make the change and not beat myself up over the people like, why can't they do it?
What were the other 2, by the way? You said there was 4. Right?
Oh, so 3, at least 3
yeah.
consistent healthy meals. So people get up, they're busy, they don't have breakfast, they get busy all day, they don't have lunch, and they have a massive meal at night.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And then number
sometimes.
4 is not eating
Late.
a big meal right before bed,
just did that
especially
last night.
carbohydrates.
Oh, Trevor, man, I did it 2 nights in a row where I didn't eat late. I literally bragged to Ryan about it because that's one of my worst things is eating late. I rationalize in my head. I get home. It's like I grew up eating late. We would eat dinner in my household at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh, no.
And when I ate dinner at 6 o'clock, and somebody, white people's houses, American houses. I was like, why are y'all eating lunch right now? Anyway,
Why you eat so early?
So in my head, that's like my favorite meal is the night meal. And so I've had to rework that rationalization because you don't do this, Russ. I did it last night, 2 nights in a row, did well. And then driving home from softball practice, pulled into a place and I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Ate it
See,
late,
I don't
felt
have a
bad.
choice sometimes. So like when I get out of the hospital, I have no other choice. Well, I do have a choice. I can bring my dinner. But there are times
Exactly. There's always a choice.
No. But there are times I can't. Like on Saturday, I didn't even get a lunch
Well,
break. I didn't get
you're in
anything.
the hospital.
So,
it's kind of different.
so
than
that,
mine.
but that ends up being a struggle for me. Is
Well,
when
what do
I
you do,
go
Trevor?
home and I go late.
Meal
For not
prep.
eating- meal prep.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Like I make several like sweet potatoes before, and then I will have this way. I know it's a faster warm up.
Yeah.
And then this way, I just have my like
It's just
salmon,
discipline, man. It's
vegetables,
having a little
and-
bit of discipline with it
Yeah.
all.
Look,
And I
you
don't
know-
have my food discipline is the worst, and I know I'm limiting. food.
I love to hear though that you're struggling with it because you're in perfect shape and you still struggle.
But
Yeah,
So
I do.
I know you had a presentation you wanted to give right now, right?
Yeah, so this is a surprise.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about this, but we have a belt. It's our Port Orange, and we have deland boxing and fitness belt. I put it there. We give this out to members who show dedication and discipline to the gym. And we have a gentleman this morning that's been training with us a few months now, has been dedicated and disciplined and been coming here, at least 3 days a week. And his name is Carlos Navarro.
Oh, you get a belt. You get a belt. You're never going to get it back, Trevor. That's the problem. You give it that crazy Aztec.
So you get to wear this for the next week.
Oh
You can wear it wherever you want.
Oh, God, I'll never take it off.
He's going to Publix.
Hold on. Let me do this.
Hold on. To get the cable. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to Publix with it and the wraps.
Oh no, he's gonna run. He's gonna run from here
To
down to
Giuseppe's.
Giuseppe's Pizza with that silly belt on. I know it.
Do I really get to keep this for a
You
week?
keep it for 1 week.
1 week.
And, any member that shows dedication, discipline will
Look at that.
eventually win this
Thank
belt.
you. This is a high honor.
He's got his own belt.
I always wanted to be a champion. I never was able to. No, honestly, Trevor, I really thank you, man. Like, you have been a big change in my life in the best way. Not only have you become like a good friend, but this means a lot because, I have like dedicated myself, but I wouldn't have if I didn't feel like this was a family. Like every time I go in, I'm like, oh, this is like a family. We're doing something together. So I genuinely thank you. This is so cool, man.
Well,
Thank you, man.
I like a lot of people. I see like you get off the show at 11, then you have meetings, then you got to get to the gym for 12:30 for the lunchbox class, and sometimes you roll in 5 minutes, but you do it.
Thanks,
You
man.
do it. You do that 3 days a week, every week. Now, we got to work on your diet.
Yeah. dude.
Oh, yeah, his diet is not good.
So,
That's
Trevor,
all I say. Thank you, brother.
what I want to do, if you don't mind, is in the next segment, if we can move over to this bag, and I want you to show like Angelique and then show Ryan the proper way to hit the bag, because when you do it and one of your trainers hits it, it's infinitely different than when we try to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll take Ryan. Can we take a microphone over there too, so we can hear him give instruction, and we'll do that when we come back. I asked you about that at the beginning of the show. You said you would do it on.
Just jump
One
on a
of these,
stream.
one of these can probably.
We'll work it
Or
out.
the-
His shoulder's hurting. Come on,
Yeah,
cut him a
I
break.
know.
Oh, his shoulders hurt. He can do it.
By the way, you educated me. I didn't know there was a man girdle. So I learned something new today.
All right, we're live at Port Orange Boxing. We'll be here all morning. If you want to come by and say hi, come on by. Remember, after this, we're going down to Giuseppe's Pizza. You'll probably see a bald guy that looks like what's his name? What's the Cuban guy that? You'll see Pitbull running down Nova Road in a little bit. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Match of the Morning.